Welcome to the fourth episode of Ace Deploy. We had a look at different components in the last few parts, and now we want to bring it all together. So in this episode, we want to see a standard workflow. Tobias, do you have an example for us?
Let's take a look at a standard workflow that can be implemented with any Git provider. A developer will start their development by creating a new feature branch and push some changes to that branch. When the changes are pushed to, let's say, Azure DevOps, a pipeline will trigger that will deploy the changes to a temporary database, which will perform a few checks. For example, it will check the syntax of the code. It might do some quality checks. It might also check the references between the objects if all of them are valid. So all these changes are done on a temporary database and ensure that the quality of the code that has just been pushed is suitable for further deployment. All these tests are done on a temporary database in Snowflake and provide the developer with instant feedback on the quality of the code that he has just developed.
Okay, good. And now, when I'm finished with my development, what do I do next?
When you are happy with your changes, you can create a pull request in order to merge them to the master branch. We have implemented a pipeline that will clone the production database and do a test deployment of your changes against the database. That will ensure that the code that you have just written is actually compatible with the production database and make sure that only valid code will be merged into the master branch.
Okay, so I get that we have a lot of syntax and code quality checks which happen automatically, but what if there are some semantical errors in the code?
Most collaboration tools like Azure DevOps will provide some way of writing comments to a pull request and thereby enabling the exchange between developers. So for example, if your colleague finds an issue with your code, they can add a comment to your code and you can go back to the first step, fix the issues, push the changes again, and then the pull request will be automatically updated and all the tests will be run a second time. And now, when everybody has approved the changes, we are ready to merge the changes into master. And in our example, this will automatically trigger a pipeline which will deploy the code against the production database and automatically roll out the changes.
So this is really a great tool to collaborate with several people on the same project.
Yes. And what we've shown you is just a very basic workflow. Ace Deploy is able to support any other workflow that you can think of. So for example, if you have more complex requirements with, let's say, many different branches from which you deploy to different databases, for example, one for QA and one for prod, then Ace Deploy will support that as well.
And with this, we close today's episode. If you liked the video, leave us a small thumbs up. And if you have more questions, contact us. You will find all the information in the description below. See you next time.